Hello everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be using two brand new stamp sets from Simon Says Stamp. It's in their holiday release, and these are ones that I designed that I just could not wait to show you guys. I'm using simple holiday greetings and glistening snowflakes. So in actuality, when I started this card or this video, I thought I would just be doing this one card here. So I'm putting the greeting down on the bottom of the card, putting this sort of tree-shaped arrangement of snowflakes right above it. And my idea for this was to stamp it and heat emboss it and do a little ink blending on top, which you definitely still could do. But the more I thought about it, I thought, you know what? These stamps could make a plethora of cards really, really quickly. So I'm going to do this first card in its entirety. I'm stamping on the card base itself. This is made out of some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White 110-pound cardstock. I have stamped it in Versamark ink, and then I'm applying some gilded embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. I'm going to make sure I have all of that embossing powder over the entire image. It covers a lot of the card, so it's a really large area. I'll tap off the excess, and then I'm going to hit it with the heat tool until everything is smooth and melted. And I like to heat the back side of the cardstock as well. That seems to help with any warping. So I'll just heat that up till everything's melted and the gold color is no longer powdery. And then I'm finished with my card. You could add some ink blending too if you wanted, but then I thought I could just leave these stamps in my MISTI. I'm going to use these assorted card fronts from Simon that are in all these different colors. And I'm just going to see how many cards I can make all at once. So that's what I decided to do. I prepped the area with an anti-static powder tool and then stamped that directly onto that red cardstock. And as soon as I had that stamped, I took it out of my MISTI and I put in another color. So here I am with another color. This is a dark green. Stamping that as well. I'm going to replace that green with a nice teal color, and I'm going to stamp that one too. Why not? And then one more time onto purple. So after I had all four of those colorful card fronts stamped, I then applied the embossing powder to each one of them and tapped off the excess. And I did all of these at the same time. So you're going to see me go through and apply the embossing powder on all four, and then I'm going to do all the heating at the same time too. So after I did these now 5 cards, because I've done that first one, I thought I'm going to do a few more card designs. Why not? So in total, I created 13 cards in under an hour, in 40 minutes actually. So that's how fast it was to create these cards. Now they're pretty simple. They don't have a whole lot of color variation in each one of them. But they are pretty colorful, and I think these stamps really stand on their own. They're pretty elegant, and keeping it very simple and minimal like this is great. For this stamp, or for these stamps, I wanted to create a square card, and I wanted to do the greeting on the inside, but the circle snowflake stamp set doesn't have the inside cut out. It's so that it keeps its circular shape. So I mounted the greeting stamp up above, and then I can stamp them together. So as soon as I have that blue one complete with the snowflakes and the greeting, I'll take that out and I'll slide the mint cardstock up, bring in a new color at the bottom, and then I can prep the darker green, and then I can ink up these stamps and I'll stamp them together. And this is the method that I used for kind of shuffling through 4 complete card fronts. So this method worked great, having the stamps in different corners of my MISTI, and it just made it so I was able to go through these really, really quickly. Now, if you wanted to step these up, I said you could do some ink blending, but excuse me, you could also do like adhered strips of cardstock across the card front and then stamp the greeting on top. That's another way to do it. You could watercolor a bunch of different backgrounds and then just put these greetings on top and heat emboss. You could do that as well. This method could work for a lot of different cards, but if you're looking for something just super simple and quick to make, you could even have your children help you with it because you'll get those stamps positioned and then they can just stamp it down on the Mistity. This is a great way to make a ton of cards if you have a lot to make for your holidays. I send out probably about 75 cards a year. So between the cards I make just, before the holiday card series starts, and then once I get into the holiday card series, I'm usually sending all new cards every year, and most of them are different from any others too. But if you need a lot of cards all at once and you're going to do it all in one sitting in one session, this is a great idea. For my third design, I've arranged these little kind of snowflake ornament type looking images, and I'm stamping them just like I did for the other ones. I've picked out my different card fronts, and as soon as I have one stamped, I'm going to go ahead and put in another cardstock color. And this goes really, really quickly. In fact, if you just want to cut these from card bases themselves, you definitely could, but using these pre-cut card fronts really gives you a chance to try out a bunch of different colors, and they're already cut to the perfect size. So I applied more of that gilded embossing powder right on top, and this goes through so super quickly. I then used my heat tool to heat these until they were melted. I love watching this metallic embossing powder melt on colored cardstock. It's so fun. So I went through and melted all of the embossing powder, and then all I had to do was adhere the card fronts to the actual card bases themselves. So I already had a bunch of pre-folded card bases. So I just adhered those using some Tombow Extreme adhesive. And I think I probably cut my card bases a little bit wrong because I did end up using a ruler and a craft knife just to even up those edges and get everything matched up just right. So I just used a craft knife. And like I said, that you probably won't have this problem if all of your card bases are cut to the right size, or if you decide to use the colored cardstock as your entire card base. You would just fold your card base before stamping, similar to what I did with the first card that was on white cardstock. So here are all my cards, all 13 of them. It's quite a big stack. And like I said, you can do all of these within 40 minutes. I finished these so quickly. Once I had one done, the others just followed immediately after, and I've already got 13 cards ready to go for the holidays. Make sure you check out the supply section down below so you can click over and see these stamps and any of the rest of the holiday release. There's so many great holiday products that have just come out, so I hope you'll click over and check those out. Thanks so much for watching today. I'll be back on Friday for my regular live stream. I'm going to be joining you at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, so come back and join in the fun. I'll be doing some live card making.